Hello, you two. Oh, hello, you're here. Hi. We're graced with George and Zara today, which is really good because I'm actually reading to you from Hilaire Belloc last time. Made me think perhaps I'd read you one of my own familiar essays. And we could pick one that has George and Zara in it. What do you think about that? Should we make you famous, you two dogs? Now, that's what I did. I wrote about them. Let me just wander over to where I keep my own books, or such of them as I can remember to keep. Here we go. I was explaining how I admired Belloc and Chesterton because they kept on writing these essays to meet the deadlines, and of course then eventually they were able to collect them into books. And hello, George. Yes, you're going to feature in this story. Happily, I've been able to do just that myself. So this is my collection of essays called In Every Corner Sing, which is my Poets' Corner collection. So just to give you an idea, let's put a bit of light here, of the kind of thing I do. I'll read you this, and it so happens, George and Zara, that the opening words of this essay are in fact George and Zara. So this is a little essay of mine called Raindrop. George and Zara, yes, my two amiable greyhounds, continued their task of teaching me today. At their behest we paused on our early morning walk so that they might enjoy the rich mélange of scents which God was bringing to their noses. They were intensely present to the moment, quivering with excitement. A human being can scarcely imagine how rich and various, how full of mystery and promise must be the sensual experience of a dog nosing scents on a walk. It would be too much for us. We wouldn't have the maturity to cope, although Chesterton tried to imagine it in the Song of the Quoodle. He writes, "The brilliant smell of water, the brave smell of a stone, the smell of dew and thunder and the old bones buried under." But as I paused with my dogs, my eye was caught by the gleam, the concentrated bead of light prismed in a single dewdrop, a single drop from the recent rain, still held in the valley fold of a bent blade of grass, and I stooped to look at it more closely. I thought of Heaney's lovely lines at the end of his poem The Rainstick. "You are like a rich man entering heaven through the ear of a raindrop." Those puzzling and beautiful words seemed a little clearer as I saw reflected back not only the light, but everything made tiny and beautiful. Coleridge had a moment like that too, and said in his lay sermon, The Statesman's Manual, that he was, quote, "struck with admiration at beholding the cope of heaven imaged in a dewdrop." Suddenly, as is sometimes the way in the summoning chamber of my memory, I found that other poets were gathering around me to gaze at the same tiny bead of light. I heard Dylan Thomas urging me to enter again the round Zion of the water bead and the synagogue of the ear of corn. And behind him stood William Blake, reminding me to see the world in a grain of sand and a heaven in a wild flower. Hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. I may envy George and Zara the finesse of their noses, I thought, but I do have this to intensify my experience. I have poetry. Coleridge called on poets to remove the film of familiarity, to awaken the mind's attention from the lethargy of custom, and direct it to the loveliness and the wonders of the world before us, an inexhaustible treasure for which we have eyes yet see not, ears that hear not, and hearts that neither feel nor understand. The curved, reflective surface of the drop, its dizzying changes of scale and perspective, had the effect of making it, as all poetry should be, both a mirror and a window. And even as I thought this, one last poet seemed to join us, George Herbert. "A man that looks on glass," he said, on it may stay his eye, or if he pleaseth, through it pass, and then the heavens espy. So that was my little essay, Raindrop, from this book. Thanks for dropping by.